Okay, so I wasn't planning on making a video about something so trivial like Apple's liquid glass, but instead of me writing a post on LinkedIn or all these other places, I just want to briefly discuss it. Let's talk about why Apple's liquid glass is important for Apple. Foundationally, what Apple is trying to do is trying to merge top level UI with dynamic content. And this is showing a paradigm shift in how we consume and interact with content. And I think that this shows future thinking when it comes down to spatial computing and AI. And liquid glass, while it is aesthetically very beautiful, it does have its issues. There's a lot of people who are saying that is basically a accessibility nightmare, and to a certain extent it is, but it's still in beta. And I think that Apple is very well aware of this, and purely from a usability and legal standard, they're going to have to try to promote better contrast ratios. But what Apple has done stylistically with chromatic aberration, with magnification, with the support of 3D foundations is really, really cool. So let's talk about the things that are driving me nuts about what people are talking about that I absolutely loathe. First and foremost, people are basically talking about what Steve Jobs would think. And I hate when people talk about dead men or prophets in this way. We don't know what Steve Jobs would have said, and it's irrelevant. And to try to be someone who's can speak for the dead or who have read their book and think they know what the they're talking about in this regard, it's kind of annoying and kind of like disrespectful. So I wouldn't do that. Another thing is that people who believe that Apple has reinvented the wheel with liquid glass, and I think that's also fucking stupid. This aesthetic stuff is a secular thing, and we've seen this like 12, 13 years ago. And, you know, within 5 or 6 years, they're going to go probably flat again if they don't get out of this cyclical cycle of going for flat panel. But I think that they're going past that into a new paradigm. And I think that's what's super interesting. But to think that Apple, because of their glass, has reinvented the wheel is just fucking ridiculous. And another thing that really freaking drives me insane is when people just talk Apple, especially their design systems. They're really well thought out and they're really well structured in a way that is mechanically very difficult. Their constraint fundamentally is the medium of flat panels. It used to be processing power. It used to be data. Those things have bled away, and they're really taking advantage of that, and they're really pushing the medium forward. And to shit talk people's work and to shit talk the problems you don't see from a purely aesthetic perspective is just ridiculous. The aesthetics are not my thing, but they are important as a shift and as a paradigm to get people to move forward. They did not reinvent the wheel, and they did not break the wheel. They are just evolving, and I think that that should be celebrated. It just frustrates the fuck out of me, and there's larger issues in the world. Let's just try to have a more pragmatic approach in how we look at design and be more kind, but also be more thoughtful. And instead of like jerking off Apple or shitting on Apple, just look at the nuance and understand what they're trying to do and move the fuck on. Okay, love you. Bye.